All right, guys, hopefully I'm doing better on this. I've actually written it out sometimes. I know it's more efficient and clean, and sometimes I'm just reading something to you. So we're going to see if we can make this good and exciting, but I want to cover today, I want to cover a misnomer. Everyone says it's quantity, it's quality, it's quality, oh, it's quality. I want to disagree for a minute. I want to discuss why quantity matters. If I misspelled quantity, once again, those of you that are smarter than me, and God bless you, you all are, feel free to send me a note and I'll apologize in person. So my point today is why quantity matters, why numbers matter, why volume matters, why does quantity matter. I'm even going to make a case more than quality. And now my apologies if I read too much. Activity works. Activity closes the gap. The saying goes, early in a process, you know what you want to produce. You also know that when you look back at your completed project, in your opinion, it sucks. You do something, you know what you want to do, it's early, it's new, and you've done your work of art, you've done your music, you've done your celebration, whatever, and you know what you wanted, you had this vision, and you landed here, and when you look at it, I produced garbage. You don't like it. Why? Because it fell short of your vision. Your expectations are good enough that you know you don't like what you did. Most people quit there. Your job is to not. If you keep at it and produce enough work, eventually what you produce is going to be awesome. And you're even going to appreciate it. And by the way, once it reaches the level that you appreciate, then the masses are going to love it. Sadly, there's only one way to get from point A to point B, and that is the volume of the work produced. Here is the cool part. The volume produced that is required to get from A to B is less total volume exponentially relative to the speed with which it is produced. For those of you that said don't use the word exponentially, I hate it. Here is the point. If we want to get from A, I have a vision, I have raw skill, but I have no developed skill, to B, the level of being awesome. You will probably never see yourself there, but the rest of the world will, and at least you're going to like what you're producing. If I want to take 20 years to write the great American novel, and in order to get from A to B in a 20-year timeline would take a production of 1 million pages of product. If I cut that 20 years to 5, I can get it done in 400,000 pages. By the way, that's not a mathematically tested. You can't go out there and say, okay, I'm going to do 400,000 pages in 5 years. It's a metaphor. It's an example. You got to point across. The amount of product necessary to go from here to here drops exponentially relative to the speed you do it in. You want to be a perfect salesman. You want to produce a product. You want to do an incredible quality presentation. Volume, volume, volume. You get to where you've done 1,000, you own it. But if you take 5 years to do 1,000, you're not going to be as good as if you did 500 in 1 year. It absolutely is true. Every one of you has been there. Everyone knows it. Okay. Really cool part. If you go faster, imagine what you can do and what you can become over those extra 15 years you just gave yourself. You want to be the great salesman, you think it's going to take 1,000, you want to give yourself 3 years to get there, get quantity. Do it in 1. If you're an even greater expert at the end of 1 year having done 500 presentations than you are at the end of 3 years having done 1,000, holy cow, what will you do with those 2 years you just gave back to your life? For everyone that says, oh, don't work yourself to death, oh, don't too hard, oh, you got to stop and smell the roses, oh, you got to do your family. I got a point if this is a lifestyle of how you're doing it forever. But guess how you become a soldier? You leave your mom, you leave your dad, you leave your friends, you leave your school, and you go to boot camp and you bust butt for a while. Guess how you become the expert? You grind it. And here's my challenge. If you do, you're not stopping to smell the roses. You're giving yourself so much more time to do it. Now, listen, I'm not going to judge your life. If you are, I would rather smell a rose a day for 10 years than smell 20 roses a day for 5. Okay, I'm not here to judge your path. I'm just saying you got to pay early, but it pays off big time late. Shift that may not make sense, probably made more when I wrote it, but I'm going to go over it anyway. Beware of the American Idol fallacy. It's very, very, very tough to judge. The American Idol fallacy is this: you really do suck and you have no talent. How many of you have seen it? And you have. People go on the American Idol and they sing, and man, they're so confident and they're going to do great, and they've been doing it every day on their karaoke, and they're freaking horrible. And you can't make them good. There are not enough years or enough repetitions for them to ever get from A to B. And their biggest problem, now this one is totally off track of the whole point, but you know it's funny. They're the ones that within a month think they've already gotten all the way to here. So beware. Beware of thinking you're great and you have the skill when you don't. Don't chase the dream that cannot be. Very few people are American Idol fools. It's the only positive I can give you. Very few people. It's 1 out of, 1 million, 2 million that are guilty of this. We see them on that because you got a show that's doing nothing but advertising for those people to come and see them. They weed through tens of thousands to find those 1 or 2, and then they show them to you like they're very common. They're not at all. They know that that's entertaining to us evil Americans who like that kind of stuff. That's soapbox for another day. Here is my last point. Beware the American Idol fallacy. Beware more so the more common trait, and that is to think you're the American Idol fallacy when you're not. Remember where we began this. You have the vision of this. You see this. You know this. I want to be a 50% closer. Half the people I represent. Because there's a guy that does that. I know it can be done. I'm going to be that. So you go out and day 1 and you're a 10% closer. So you say, oh, I'm the American Idol. I'm not any good. And you quit and you give up. Not at all. Beware of saying that when all you really needed was 100 presentations. And by the way, just to play with the music thing, I hate having to say this all the time, and I don't know why nobody ever listens to me. Live is great. Practice is almost as good. Do role play. Do mock presentations. If you have to steal your daughter's teddy bears and do them to them, do them. I can't believe how true this is, but guys, it is. It friggin' matters. So it takes 150 mock to achieve what 100 live is. It's a heck of a lot easier to get the mock ones. Do them, do them, do them, do them. The whole purpose of this, the whole thing I'm trying to say to you, quantity matters. You can't get quality till you have quantity. And we don't teach that in America anymore, and we should, and I need you to remember it. I hope this was helpful to you. Thank you so much for watching.